My name is Christine Poxton. I've been involved with youth work voluntarily for the last 20 years. I came to help, but it was just this kids group, and it was in an old, wooden, decrepit building. It was absolutely abysmal. I've not been there very long. They're all teenagers in the village, whom I know. Obviously, at that time, 20 years ago, I know pretty well. My own children were teenagers, and they asked me to start running a teenage youth club. I said, OK then, we'll give it a shot. Anyway, we set off, know nothing about it. Kids didn't know nothing about youth clubs, and we just worked our way from there. At that particular time, we'd got nearly 40 teenagers. Sometimes it was extremely airy, and sometimes it was just such immense fun. I took them away for weekends. We went to Whitehall, we took them to Blackpool. I took them all over. We managed to, and always with no money. We had to fundraise all the time. I was also a parish councillor, and I said, hold on a minute, why can't we have a building in our village? And, well, to cut a long story short, 10 years of campaigning, I eventually got the money for this new place.
They've been coming to the youth club for about a year and a half, my kids. They absolutely love it because it's a social thing for them to get out and make friends in the area, other than friends from school. So it's quite good. And also I really enjoy getting a break from them. A couple of hours to myself.
My name's Jane Repton. I've been at this youth club going on about 8 years. When it was the old youth club I started, and it's just grown from there. In the summer holidays I do a week's summer club, and we have trips out, things like that. But we also have to fund it ourselves. So the Exeter Parish Council was good enough to give us some money like for this year. So that did a trip out to Gulliver's Kingdom.
What I'm hoping this will do is to help us find some volunteers. Nobody gets paid. It's not easy work, but sometimes it can be immeasurably. You feel so wonderful when you've done a good job.
My youth club is on a Wednesday night. The 7 to 11-year-olds, 6 while 8 o'clock at night.
It's really helped my kids socially. It's been a nice opportunity for them to meet new children in the area, to make new friends, and I have done a few new activities I've never done before in here. It's quite creative.
We've had Ozbox, and they've taught these kids how to box. And sometimes I've walked on and I felt 1,000,000 feet tall, you know, when I took them on trips. And when I took them to Whitehall for a weekend, all these kids, they went out in fields and picked with the hugest bunch of flowers. They pinched some out at gardens to pretend I didn't know that. But the feeling that you get, it's so, you cannot measure it.
We go to the pantomime every Christmas. I'm doing a carol night. I've done that for the past 3 years. And I ask all the village to come. Chapel, church, everybody's invited, and we have a right good night, carol night.
It's been wonderful. The problem is we have not got enough volunteers. This last couple of years I've become older and I'm not as well as I used to be, so I no longer run the teenage club. The teenage club runs 2 nights a week, but the young lady who's running it, she's had to give up for a while because she has got no volunteers.
At the moment I've been lucky and I've got 2 more staff come, volunteers, and which is good. It helps me do a lot more, you know, in the youth club itself. But we are struggling with that. We've struggled for a long time. We do everything: karaoke, pool, competitions, talent things. They just basically come and enjoy themselves.
Yeah, I want to make very clear that every adult that walks in here and works with young people in any capacity is CRB checked. But I'd love to see the youth clubs to get some volunteers, some young volunteers and some male volunteers. Let's get this senior youth club, the teenage youth club, up and running again. I'd be so thrilled to make it as successful as it used to be.
Definitely recommend it to anyone else.